IIW Guideline, International Welding Inspection Personnel, IWI-P, Minimum Requirements for the Education, Training, Examination and Qualification of Inspection Personnel. International Welding Inspection Personnel, IWI-P, International Welding Inspector Level Basic, IWI-B, International Welding Inspector Level Standard, IWI-S, International Welding Inspector Level Comprehensive, IWI-C. IAB 041 R624 SV00. This document is based upon the European Welding Inspection Personnel Guideline, former document EWF 450, as developed by the European Federation for Welding, joining cutting EWF through an agreement first signed in 19th July 1997 at the annual meeting of the International Institute of Welding in San Francisco, California, USA, and which has been renewed and further developed since then. Any EWF A and B is permitted to issue EWF diplomas equivalent to the IAW ones that have been issued by the same A and B. Copy of this document are available from the IIWIAB Secretariat or their designated distributor. Introduction and scope. This guideline covers education, training, and qualification of welding inspection personnel. It does not cover certification of this personnel. This guideline is designated to provide the core education and training in welding and inspection technology required by those responsible for performing inspection tasks at various levels. It is possible that additional training or experience may be necessary beyond the core education and training to meet the requirements of specific application or job function or local requirement or legislation. Education and training offered in accordance to this guideline does not qualify for the role of safety officer, as additional training would be required. Section 1 of this guideline covers the minimum requirements for education and training agreed upon by all national welding societies within the IIW in terms of objectives, scope, learning outcomes, and teaching hours to be devoted to achieving them. These will be revised periodically by IWIAB Group A to take into account any changes that may affect the state of the art. Student having successfully completed the course of education and training will be expected to be capable of applying welding inspection technology as covered by this guideline. Section 2 of this document covers rules of examination and qualification. Definitions and acronyms. For the scope of the guideline, the following definitions apply. Education and training, a process of instruction in relevant theory and practice that takes the form of courses of approved syllabus and periods of practical work under qualified supervision, but shall not include the use of specimens used in the practical examination. All educational courses relating to the award of qualification covered by this guideline shall be approved by the IW authorized nominated body A and B. Qualification, a demonstration in accordance with the IW guidelines and rules conducted by the authorized nominated body A and B involved an examination of the knowledge and skill related to specified criteria. Success in this examination leads to the issue of the related IW diploma gained. Such diplomas remain valid for the lifetime of the holder. Relevant inspection experience, the period during which the candidate performed welding inspection as her main activity under qualified supervision, including personnel qualification application of inspection to materials, parts of structures. In the scope of this guideline, the following acronyms are used for the inspection personnel. IWI-P, International Welding Inspection Personnel qualified according to the guideline. IWI-C International Welding Inspector at the comprehensive level. IWI-S International Welding Inspector at the standard level. IWI-B International Welding Inspector at the basic level. In the scope of this guideline, the following acronyms are used for the education and training modules. WTC Welding Technology Education and Training Comprehensive Level. WTS Welding Technology Education and Training Standard Level. WTB Welding Technology Education and Training Basic Level. WIC Welding Inspection Education and Training Comprehensive Level. WIS Welding Inspection Education and Training Standard Level. WIB Welding Inspection Education and Training Basic Level. In the scope of this guideline, the following acronyms are used for the examinations. WTEC Welding Technology Exam Comprehensive Level. WTES Welding Technology Exam Standard Level. WTEB Welding Technology Exam Basic Level. WIEC Welding Inspection Exam Comprehensive Level. WIES Welding Inspection Exam Standard Level. WIEB Welding Inspection Exam Basic Level. PES Practical Exam Standard Level. PEB Practical Exam Basic Level. IWS 0 Examination as related to IWS 0 training. See document IAWB 252 in its last revision. The inspector's role. The inspector role begin well before welding starts, continue during the welding operation, involves action after welding is completed, and is finalized only when the results are properly reported. As part of this quality system, inspection activities are defined in inspection and test plan, which clearly describes what is required. The inspector is frequently responsible for producing documents that ensure traceability of the documents and related fabrication action. Prior to welding, the inspector must be assured that the materials are correct and the shop has approved welding procedures and appropriately qualified welders. Written procedures and competent operators are important to the production of quality product, but the actual execution of the weld is also a critical point for the inspector. Once the inspector is satisfied that all is in order for the welding to proceed, the task becomes one of the witnessed and monitoring. There are two basic interests at this point: ensuring that the written procedures are being followed and checking for any physical signs of non-conformance of the final product. The inspector's responsibilities are to verify basic metals and welding consumables, observe the fit-up and preparation for the weld, and watch the welding operation itself. Once the welding is completed, a new series of inspection tests begin, which start with execution and inspection program according to an approved procedure, maintaining the status of examination and testing and selecting specified weld for further NDT or mechanical testing. Heat treatment such as preheating, post-heating, and post-weld heat treatment (PWHT) can be critical parameter in a welding operation, and the inspector is often required to ensure that it has been done properly. Heat treatment must be carried out following an approved written procedure. The inspector must know enough about the technique, the equipment, and the reports to have confidence in the results. Reports. When preparation, production, and inspection are over, the inspector must collect the observations, checklist, and results into a report that is structured to meet the needs of the client, a jurisdiction, or a code. This report is the document of reference which could allow the tracing of a production parameter that provide after years of service to be contributing to a failure. It allows the tracing of responsibility to a specific supplier or contractor. One or more interim reports might well be necessary to show progress during a long or complicated construction project. Reports must detail the inspection stages, parameters, and results, including correction reaction if required. It is important to identify quality related problems as early as possible. Interim reports and observations are extremely valuable as they provided engineering and production personnel with information they might not otherwise be aware of. The inspector's observation might highlight quality problems that could perhaps to remediate by design or production changes if found early enough. The inspector should remember to quantify observations where possible. Typical duties of welding inspector amongst others as follows: interpretation of drawings and specification, verification of procedures WPS and welder and welding operator qualifications, verification of the application of approved welding procedures, selection of production test samples, interpretation of test results, preparation of reports and keeping of records, preparation of inspection procedures and check the correct application of NDT methods, the authority to stop work or call for immediate remedial action to resolve a quality problem is particularly important in defining the responsibility of the inspector. Levels of inspection personnel. This guideline sets out the education and training for three levels of welding inspection personnel as follows: Basic, IWI-B. A candidate completing the basic level of training under this program shall possess a general knowledge of welding and inspection application and theory. This knowledge base will enable the candidate to effectively perform the following tasks: conduct direct and aided visual inspection to identify and evaluate welding imperfections according to acceptance criteria, verify, witness, and understand all welding related activities in a fabrication, including but not limited to the following points: verify the adequacy of information on NDT reports, VT, PT, MT, UT for conventional techniques, verify data and adequacy of material certificates, base and filler materials, verify identification and traceability of the materials during the fabrication processes, verify the compliance of raw materials and consumables against the applicable standards, codes, and specifications, verify the implementation of the WPS in production for conventional application, e.g. arc welding processes, steels. See section 1 for detailed information. Verify the implementation of BWHT specifications in production. Witness welder approval tests, including testing of the specimen or test coupons. Witness production test coupons. Read and understand an inspection testing plan. Read and understand the construction drawings in relation to inspection activities, and report any of the above clients to qualified supervisor. Standard IWI-S. A candidate completing the standard level of training under this program shall possess an advanced knowledge of welding and inspection theory and application. This knowledge base will enable the candidates to perform the following tasks in addition to the IWI-B: supervise the activities of the IWI-B, develop and provide instructions to IWI-B, develop, comment and review quality control plans and inspection and testing plans based on product standards, code specifications, drawings and regularly requirements. Veterinary procedure qualification test, including testing of the specimens. Verify the compliance of WQPRs and WPSs and welder qualification and approval against the application standard code specification for conventional applications, e.g. arc welding processes, steels, aluminum alloys. See section 1 for more details. Verify the compliance of PWHT specification against the applicable standards, codes and specifications. Verify the compliance of raw materials and consumable certificates against the applicable standards, codes and specifications. Take decisions on acceptance of quality documents related to welding fabrication, e.g. NDT material testing, production testing, etc. Take decisions based on quality documents, e.g. NDT material testing, production testing, etc. according to the requirements defined for the construction. Verify radiographic film quality adequacy, no interpretation. Identify and verify the relevant NDT techniques for welded construction and reports on all the above actions. Comprehensive IWI-C. A candidate completing the comprehensive level of training under this program shall possess an intimate knowledge of welding inspection theory and application. This knowledge base will enable the candidates to perform the following tasks in addition to the IWI-S and IWI-B: manage the whole of the welding inspection activities, supervise the activities of the IWI-S and IWI-B, develop and provide instruction to IWI-S and IWI-B, act as a technical expert for the inspection function, develop, comment and review quality control plans and inspection testing plans for applications not covered by product standards, code specification, drawings and regularity requirements, and manage inspection activities for non-conventional applications with reference to materials, processes and advanced destructive testing and NDT techniques. See section 1 for detailed information. Routes to qualification. 3 distinctive rules to going the qualifications described in this document have been agreed: the standard route, the alternative route, and digital learning program CIAW195 in its last revisions. It is also recognized that personnel certified for NDT at level 1, 2 and 3 may be exempted from part of the training. See paragraph 8. Standard routes to qualification. This guideline provides different routes to qualification based on different access conditions as experienced as follows. Routes to qualification to IWI-C. Route 1. This route is for those fulfilling the national standard access condition for IWT or higher, as defined in the Directory Access Conditions document IAWB 020 in its last revision. To gain the qualification, candidates should attend the education and training and pass the relevant exam as reported in Table 1, with the exemption that candidates may decide on the basis of prior learning and or experience and subject to an ATB assessment and authorization to proceed directly to the welding technology exams WTES and WTEC only in this case. Passing the WT exams in required before entering the welding inspection education and training courses WIB, WIS and WIC. at the discretion of the A and B, and only for students attending the full standard courses, education and training. The welding technology exams WTES and WTEC can be programmed on the same day as the welding inspection exams WIES and WIEC, and the practical exam the PES. Route 1 is represented in figure 1. Route 2. This route is for those already holding an existing IWI qualification as international welding technologist or higher, who may proceed directly to the welding inspection modules at the relevant level. In this case, it is not required the applicants are subject to WT examinations at the relevant level. In addition, these applicants may skip the training for the welding inspection module at the basic level WI-B, all modules, and the training for the welding inspection module at the standard level. Submodule 1. Applicants are subject to the welding inspection exam and practical exams at any level. Route 2 is represented in figure 1. Route 3. This guideline considers a system for career development for those qualified IWI-S who have gained 2 years of relevant inspection experience at IWI-S level to progress to IWI-C without complying with the access conditions given in Route 1, only attending WTC and WIC training and passing relevant welding technology and inspection exam WTEC and WIEC via Route 3 as shown in figure 2. Candidates may decide on the basis of prior learning and or experience and subject to an ATB assessment and authorization whether to take the welding technology module WTC first or proceed directly to the welding technology exam WTEC. Only in this case, passing the exam is required before entering the welding inspection module WIC. At this discretion of the A and B, only for students attending the full standard courses, education and training, the welding technology exam WTEC can be taken on the same day of the welding inspection exam WIEC. Route 3 is represented in figure 2. Routes to qualification to IWI-S. Route 1. This route is for those fulfilling the national standard access condition for IWS, EWS as defined in the Directory of Access Conditions, document I8B020 in its latest revisions, Route 1 and 2 without any limitation in age or experience. To gain the IWI-S qualification, candidates should attend the education and training and pass the relevant exams as reported in Table 1, with the exemption that candidates may decide on the basis of prior learning and or experience and subject to an ATB assessment and authorization to proceed directly to the welding technology exam WTES. Only this case, passing the WT exams WTES is required before entering the welding inspection education and training courses IWI-B and WIS at the discretion of the A and B, and only for students attending the full standard courses, education and training. The welding technology exam WTES can be performed on the same day as the welding inspection exam WIES and the practical exam PES. Route 1 is represented in figure 2. Route 2. This route is for those already holding an existing IIW qualification as international welding specialist or higher, who may proceed direct to the welding inspection module at the relevant level. In this case, it is not required that applicants are subject to WT examination WTES. In addition, those already holding an existing IIWX qualification as international welding technologist or higher may skip the training for the welding inspection module at the basic level WIB all modules. Those already holding an existing IIW qualification as an international welding technologist or higher may skip the training for the welding inspection module at the standard level WIS. Submodule 1 and the training for the welding inspection module at the basic level, all modules. Applicants are subject to the welding inspection exam and practical exams at the applicable levels. Route 1 and 2 is represented in figure 1. Route 3. This guideline considers a system for career development for those qualified to IWI-B who have gained 2 years of relevant inspection experience at IWI-B level to progress to IWI-S without complying with the access condition given in Route 1 by only attending WTS and WIS at education and training and passing relevant welding technology inspection and practical exams WTES, WIES and PES. Those entering IWIS via Route 3 without satisfying the access condition for Route 1 have to proceed to IWS 0 training and examination. See document IAB 252 in its latest revision. Before entering the welding technology education and training, Route 3 is shown in figure 2. In addition, candidates may decide on the basis of prior learning and or experience and subject to an ATB assessment and authorization to proceed directly to the welding technology exam WTES. Only in this case, passing the exam is required before entering the welding inspection module and practical examinations WIES and PES. In at this discretion of the A and B and only for students attending the full standard courses education and training, the welding technology exam WTS can be performed on the same day of the welding inspection exams WIE, WISS and the practical exam PEC. Route 3 is represented in figure 2. Routes to qualification to IWI-B. Route 1. This route is applicable to persons having educational backgrounds in science or engineering, to professional workers and those having at least 2 years of professional welding related experience. To gain the IWI-B qualification, candidates should attend the education and training and pass the relevant exams are as reported in Table 1, with the exemption that candidates may decide on the basis of prior learning and our experience and subject to an ATB assessment and authorization to proceed directly to the welding technology exam WTEB. Only in this case, passing the WT exam is required before entering the welding inspection education and training courses WIB at this discretion of the A and B, and only for students attending the full standard courses education and training. The welding technology exam WTEB can be performed on the same day as the welding inspection exam WIEB and the practical exam PEP. Route 1 is represented in figure 1. Route 2. This route is for those already holding an existing IIW qualification as international welding practitioner or higher, who may proceed direct to the welding inspection module at the relevant level. In this case, it is not required. Applicants are subject to WT examination at the relevant level. In addition, those already holding an existing IIW qualification as international welding specialist or higher may skip the training for the welding inspection module, submodule 1. Those already holding an existing IIW qualification as international welding technologist or higher may skip the training for the welding inspection module, all modules. Applicants are subject to the welding inspection exam and practical exams at the all applicable levels. Route 2 is represented in figure 1. General rules for all standard routes. For all routes, if the candidate fails the welding technology examination tests at the appropriate level, having experienced an option to proceed directly to the examination, he or she must take the omitting training module before resetting the failed examination. Rules for IWS 0 are reported in document IAB 252 in its last revision. The rules for the conduct of the examinations by the IIW authorized nominated body A and B are prescribed in section 2 of this guideline. Alternative routes to qualification. To gain qualification according to the alternative route, applicants shall submit an application form to the A and B together with the documents indicated in paragraph 5.1 to 5.3 for paper assessment. The A and B shall conduct a paper assessment to ensure that the applicant meets the access condition for the alternative route. See the list of access conditions, document IAB 020 in its last revision, and evaluate the applicant's practice and related job function in welding inspection. The result of this assessment shall determine if the applicant is suitable for further detailed assessment. See Appendix 2. In Appendix 2, A and B detailed assessment. After the candidate has fulfilled the requirements of the A and B check, he will be admitted to the A and B detailed assessment. The full A and B detailed assessment shall contain a detailed paper assessment of knowledge checklist with points, a practical assessment interview designed to test, understand, and ability to reason in the field of welding and the syllabus of the standard course, and project or technical interview to test logical application of knowledge. The sequence of this assessment shall be determined by the A and B. It is the direct discretion of the A and B to terminate the assessment and send the candidate back or into the standard route. If she has a diploma of IIW, IWE, IWT, IWS or IWP or AN approved national certificate of welding coordination and valid entity certificates in compliance to ISO 9712 which cover the syllabus of the welding inspection modules of the present guideline, she can proceed to the professional assessment interview for the equivalent level of qualification without a detailed paper assessment. After fulfill all of the requirements for detailed assessment and the professional assessment interview and C1 project or C2 technical interview of the ANB detailed assessment, the candidate will be admitted to the final examination. A and B approved national certificate of welding coordination means certificate content is based on ISO 14731 and is issued by the body accredited to ISO 17024. Qualification to IWI-C, IWT diploma or evidence of satisfying the access conditions for IWT or higher, a curriculum vitae CV resume containing the following professional information: evidence of at least 3 years job function welding and inspection at the comprehensive level in a period of 4 years before application, a justification of the candidate's experience, training and education to become IWI-C may include other test results. Qualification to IWI-S, IWI-S diploma or evidence of satisfying the access conditions for IWS or higher, a curriculum vitae or CV resume containing the following professional information: evidence of at least 2 years of job function in welding and inspection at least the standard level in a period of 3 years before application, a justification of candidates' experience, training and education to become IWI-S may include other test results. Qualification to IWI-B, IWP diploma or evidence of satisfying the access conditions defined for the IWI-B for Route 1 or higher, a curriculum vitae CV resume containing professional information, evidence that candidates was working in welding and inspection at the basic level during the last 2 years before application, a justification of the candidate's experience, training and education to become IWI-B may include other test results. The INB shall determine by paper check if the application is suitable for further detailed assessment. Recognition of entity certification. Those having certification in entity in accordance with ISO 9712 or equivalent recognized by the A and B may be granted exemption from the entity parts of the modules for welding inspection on a method by method basis, but not from the final examination. The approval of such arrangements is at the discretion of the A and B. It is recommended that exemption for NDT level 2 or level 3 certification should apply to modules WIS or C. Exemptions for NDT level 1 certification should apply to module IWI-B. Section 1, Theoretical and Practical Education and Training Module, Welding Technology and Welding Inspection, Syllabus and Performance Objectives. All topics in the modules must be covered, however, the sequence may be varied. Theoretical Education, Welding Technology Modules, WTC, is applied for the comprehensive level. WTS is applied for the standard level. WTB is applied for the basic level. Welding processes and equipment, WTC 13 hours, WTS 5 hours, WTB 17 hours. General Introduction to Welding Technology, Oxy-gas welding and related processes, the arc and power sources for arc welding, tungsten inert gas welding, MIG and flux core arc welding, manual metal arc welding, submerged arc welding, resistance welding, laser electron beam and plasma arc welding, other welding processes, cutting and other edge preparation processes, surface and spraying, fully mechanized processes and robotics, brazing and soldering, joining processes for plastics, welding processes demonstrations. Materials and their behavior during welding, WTC 11 hours, WTS 20 hours, WTB 19 hours. Structure and properties of metals and alloys, pure metals, iron carbon alloys, manufacture and classification of steels, structure of the welded joint, cracking phenomena and imperfections in welding of steels, fractures and different kinds of fractures including relation with defects, heat treatments of base materials and welded joints, carbon low alloyed, fine grained and thermoplastically treated steels, ISO TR 15608 groups 1, 2, 3, Introduction to Weldability of Low Alloyed and High Alloyed Steels, Low Alloyed Creep Resistant Steels, ISO TR 15608 group 456, Low Alloyed Steels for Cryogenic Applications, ISO TR 15608 group 9, Introduction to Crayon, Stainless and Heat Resistant Steel, ISO TR 15608 group 7810, High Manganese Carbon Steels, ISO TR 15608 group 11, Cast Iron, ISO TR 15608 group 71276 and Cast Steel, Nickel and Nickel Alloys, ISO TR 15608 group 41248, Aluminium and Aluminium Alloys, ISO TR 15608 group 21 to 26, non-ferrous materials other than nickel and aluminium, joining dissimilar metals, introduction to wear, protective layers. Construction and design, WTC 2 hours, WTS 3 hours, WTB 5 hours. Basic theory of structural systems and fundamentals of the strength of materials, welded joint design, fabrication drawings, behavior of welded structures under different types of loading, design of structures in aluminium and its alloys, introduction to fracture mechanics. Fabrication applications engineering, WTC 0, WTS 2, WTB 6 hours. Welding stresses and distortion, plant facilities welding jigs and fixtures, health and safety, repair welding. Total minimum hours for welding technology modules: WTC 26 hours, WTS 30 hours, WTB 47 hours. Section 1: Theoretical and Practical Education and Training Module Welding Inspection, Syllabus and Performance Objectives. All topics in the module must be covered, however the sequence may be varied. Theoretical Education, Welding Inspection Modules. WIC is applied for the comprehensive level, WIS is applied for the standard level, and WIB is applied for the basic level. Quality Assurance, Quality Control in Inspection, WIC 6 hours, WIS 9 hours, WIB 20 hours. Scope of activity, terms and definitions, role of welding inspection personnel, management of inspection function, quality assurance principle in welding, welders, welding operators and welding procedure approval, measurements, inspection and control during welding, type of imperfection, evaluating of imperfections, engineering critical assessment. Testing of welds and reporting, WIC 10 hours, WIS 12 hours, WIB 18 hours. Destructive testing of welded joints, overview of NDT methods, visual inspections, liquid penetrant testing PT, magnetic particle testing MT, radiographic testing RT, ultrasonic testing UT, advanced and other NDT methods. Critical review of selection of NDT methods, other test methods, pressure testing, dimensional testing, etc. Qualification and certification of NDT personnel, documents for quality control in welding, economics in welding inspection. Practical work on testing, WIC 16 hours, WIS 20 hours, WIB 17 hours. Radiographic interpretation, witness mechanical test, visual inspection of welds, metallographic micro and macros, liquid penetrant and magnetic particle testing, ultrasonic testing, advanced techniques for IWI-C, witnessed welders approval for IWI-B and WPQRs for IWI-S, application of testing in different fields and case studies, not only NDT. Total minimum hours for welding inspection modules, WIC 32 hours, WIS 41 hours, WIB 55 hours. Theoretical Education Basic Technology Module IWS 0. This module is only applied for certain applicants who want to be engaged on the standard level training. See figure 2. Introduction 2 hours, Units 2 hours, Technical Calculation 7 hours, Technical Drawings 12 hours, Basic of Electrotechnology 2 hours, Basic of Chemistry 2 hours, Basic of Materials 5 hours, Metal Products 2 hours, Machining of Materials 2 hours, Technical Mechanics 2 hours, Calculation of Strength 2 hours. Total recommended hours for Basic Technology Module IWS 0 40 hours. Now this 40 hours course follows the syllabus of Module IWS 0 but only insofar as engineering knowledge required by the International Welding Inspection Specialist level is concerned. Section 2: Examinations. Examination procedures. The examination will consist in welding technology exam, welding inspection exam, and practical exam as reported in table 1. Requirements and rules for IEWS 0 examination are reported in document EWF IAB 252 in its latest revision. In order to pass each exam, WTE, WIE and PE candidate must achieve at least 60% of the maximum total score in each exam. In the specific case of the practical exam PE, candidates who passed must achieve at least 60% of the maximum total score at a minimum of 50% of the maximum score for each part of the exam. See item 7.3, table 2. The examination shall be completed within a period of 3 years from the first exam. In the case the exam refer to standards, the related standards shall be made available to the exam. WTE Welding Technology Examination. This part will examine the candidate's knowledge any regarding the welding technology module. The examination will consist of a series of multiple choice questions covering the whole field of the subject. The exam content shall cover the 4 submodules proportionally to the duration of each training modules. WIE Welding Inspection Examination. This part will examine the candidate's knowledge only regarding the welding inspection module. The examination will consist of a series of multiple choice questions covering the whole field of subject. The exam content shall cover the 2 submodules proportionally to the duration of each training module. PE Practical Exams. This is a written examination of the candidates' practical capabilities of performing the welding inspection tasks the way they were taught during the course. This examination is composed of 3 parts, A, B and C. The accent of the practical exam is given in table 2. Thank you for watching. For more videos, like, comment, share and subscribe.